round 2. The top 5 winning the overall standings, top of your screen: Jacqueline Dahlstrom, Ariel Lowen, Manon Anganese, Matilda Garns, Ellie Turner, Annika Greer, Danny Spiegel, Carolyn Prevost, Cara Saunders, and now one more name needs to be put up.
The suspense.
Danielle Brandon. No surprise there, as she was the winner of her heat. There are the 15 women who move to round 2 here. You may have been watching as we were away and saw Barnhart, Lawson, Thorisdottir, McGowan, and Horvath take the field, but because of that scoring appeal, they had to bring them off while they figured that out. They will be first out to kick off round number 2. The top 10 women will move on.
Yeah, and allowing these athletes time to get back, move their body, stay warm, and also stay precise with these movements that they're about to get tested was extremely important and an integral part about keeping the field of play as even as possible.
And as we saw in round number 1, mistakes can be costly here.
Yeah, you've got to roll through this thing clean. It's one legless rope climb, 10 overhead squats at 95 pounds for these ladies, and then a cyclone bag carry of 150 pounds for 75 feet. This event starts and stops in the blink of an eye.
There is Amanda Barnhart, 5th place overall. And overall leader, Laura Horvath, who has won 3 straight events. Keys to the duel 2.
Yeah, and like many would assume, accuracy is extremely important. Hand over hand on the rope climbs, and then also a quick descend can make or break athletes. They've got to squat to depth, show the judges what they want to see, and also extend those hips all the way at the top. And then transition speed is a 4th element of the 3 listed that can often be hidden in this test.
So Gabriella McGowan currently sitting in 2nd place overall, just one finish outside the top 5. That was event number 2, where she took 11th. Now the judges will take their positions, and we are set to kick off round number 2. Top 10 times from this round move on to round 3. And then it will be the top 5 times, and then the top 2 going head-to-head for the event win. Emma Lawson currently in 4th place overall. She does have an event win in this competition. She took ski bar to open up Friday. Lawson, McGowan, Horvath, Thorisdottir, and Barnhart. Opening heat of round 2.
We tested rope climbs in semifinals this year. Laura Horvath is the lady out on the field that finished with the best time in those 10 legless rope climbs for time. And she's going to be first to the barbell.
Horvath and Lawson get to the barbell together. Horvath right in the middle of the field. Here comes Thorisdottir and Amanda Barnhart. Now McGowan, the last woman to start her overhead squats, and Laura Horvath with a good pace here.
Accuracy is key. Now we got to see, how does she respond to the bag?
Horvath has the bag up. Barnhart is second to the bag. She has that lifted. Laura Horvath is going to win the heat. Amanda Barnhart looking to take 2nd place. Annie Thorisdottir and Emma Lawson battling for 3rd. And Gabby McGowan will come in last. We'll have to wait and see for the official scores here. So it does look like Emma Lawson may have tied with Thorisdottir. That's unofficial right now. But Laura Horvath looking like she has a very good chance of moving into round 3. Scores still adjusting, but it was very clear that Laura Horvath is your heat winner.
Yeah, and here's what's interesting, Sean. She executed clean and flawlessly from what we saw, but now the remaining 10 athletes have a time to beat, and they are the ones that get to play, can we match her time? And these top 5 now just get to sit and wonder, was that enough to advance us into the next round?
A lot of waiting and nervous moments for the athletes during this event, just like we saw last year with the duel, which was the final event of the 2021 Rogue Invitational. And we will get set for the next 5 athletes to make their ways out onto the field.
You know, there's probably people watching this wondering, like, is this really a test of fitness for these elite athletes? And the answer to me is obviously yes. And when we think about the 10 general physical skills that encompass what CrossFit is, we've got strength, power, accuracy, agility, speed, balance, and coordination all at the forefront of this test. Now, it's fast, but it is a strong measure of their fitness.
Jacqueline Dahlstrom and Matilda Garnes, along with Ellie Turner. They will be out in heat number 2 with Menon Anganese and Ariel Lowen. Athletes taking their positions on the starting mats. Judges are in position. Matilda Garnes just taking a second to just take a look at her barbell, maybe put a little chalk on it. There is Menon Anganese.
Again, you think about that hand placement. Garnes just making sure that she knows exactly how to attack the bar in that split moment to make sure she gets it overhead exactly where she wants. Some of these ladies may have to take a moment to glance at their hand position, and now she's minimized that for herself to optimize the result.
Matilda Garnes continuing to warm up, using every moment she has before they start this event. She came in 9th place overall, coming off a 7th place finish in the Turtle. And there is Ellie Turner, who currently sits in 7th overall with 315 points. Best finish of the competition was event number 3, took 2nd in back attack. Ariel Lowen also in this heat. Laura Horvath, the fastest time that we have seen so far in round number 2. She won the opening heat, unofficially a time of 37.78 seconds. Heat 2, round 2. Starts with that one legless rope climb. Matilda Garnes is through, and she will be the first woman to the barbell. She's on the right side of your screen, and she is 1 rep in. Second platform from the right is Matilda Garnes. Ellie Turner, though, in the middle, has a great pace going on her overhead squats, and she has remained clean so far.
Yeah, just a shorter cycle rate allows her to take the lead there on those overheads.
Ellie Turner first to the bag. Menon Anganese right behind her. Matilda Garnes is in 3rd, followed by Dahlstrom. So Turner's going to take the heat. Garnes trips and falls short of the finish line, allows Anganese and Dahlstrom to come across ahead of her. And now Ariel Lowen is in.
And Ariel had a drop as well. She had to pick it up and finish with a few feet left. You got to wonder when we watch things like that, Sean, is the overall fatigue from the first 5 events now starting to catch up with these ladies throughout the course of these couple days? They've done a lot of work already.
Ellie Turner with a great run there. Was not the first woman off the rope, but her pace on the overhead squats is what allowed her to take the lead. And then had little trouble with that 150-pound bag as she lugged that across the finish line. And looking like she will be moving on to round number 3.
One thing that I love most as we get to watch short, fast events like this is the psychological test that is often at the forefront of all these events, especially those that come under a minute. It's how can you handle the pressure? I mean, I'm up here watching these athletes take place, and when the judge says 10 seconds, my hands get sweaty.
It's hard to take the competitor out of the competition for sure. Let's go back and look at that second heat and watch Ellie Turner in the middle of your screen and the pace that she has when she gets to the barbell.
Everyone was pretty much neck and neck here through the legless rope climb, hand over hand, not a lot of kipping from this heat, using their hips to get up there, just arms. But look at that cycle rate. She even got a no rep and was able to rebound from that, come back and make a sprawling finish over the finish line and make it count for the Heat win.
Doing a good job of letting the weight on that bag pull her forward, and I think that's why some of these athletes are tripping short of the finish line, is that they're just trying to get that momentum to carry it over. And we saw a costly fall from Matilda Garnes as she was in line to finish second in that heat and winds up taking fourth, as both Anganese and Dahlstrom were able to pass her at the finish line. Third and final heat is set. And Annika Greer, who's on the far right side of your screen, had a really great run to open up the competition.
She did, and what stands out to me about that clean run that we saw from her is that she didn't necessarily win coming off the rope, but her cycle speed of her overhead squats, if she can get to that bar, stick that first squat snatch, and then show the judge what they need to see, it's going to put her in a very good situation to get to that bag with a slight lead over the field.
Greer just 5'2", so not a lot of ROM there.
Exactly. Not a lot of range of motion there from the hips to the knees when we're working in that frontal plane up and down.
Danny Spiegel comes into the event in 16th place overall. Her best finish was a 6th in event number 3 back attack, that heavy back squat and box jump over event. Danielle Brandon in lane 3 in 6th place overall. Spiegel, Saunders, Brandon, Prevost, and Greer. Third and final heat of round 2 has begun. Danielle Brandon in the middle in the green top. Looks to be first done with her rope climb. Prevost was second, followed by Saunders and Spiegel, and Annika Greer is the last woman to the barbell, bottom of your screen. But as Adrian mentioned, that cycle time on the overhead squats really paid off for her in round 1.
Danielle got there, though, with about a 2-rep lead on the rest of the ladies.
Brandon is through, so is Saunders. Here comes Carolyn Prevost, but Annika Greer, as you mentioned, Adrian, closed that gap. It's not going to matter, though, as Danielle Brandon is going to win the heat. Saunders is in. Prevost dropped the bag. Spiegel, Greer, and then Prevost. 38.22 seconds for Danielle Brandon. Not the fastest time that we have seen, but definitely good enough to get her into round 3. Top 10 times moving on.
Yeah, she's out. She's, again, you know, I mentioned she came out this afternoon and she means business. She's focused. She gets off the field. Now, she literally timed that just perfect, Sean. Like you said, it looks like they're using the bag to pull them forward. She nailed it. Now, I think one of the things that separated Brandon from the field is look at the slight pump that she uses through her knees on her legless rope climb. It shortens the time from hand to hand, and I think it just created enough of an advantage for her to hold on. Those quality overhead squats that she's executing there, hung onto the bag just long enough to get across that finish line.
Carolyn Prevost was looking for a top 3 finish, but she had a drop late. And we'll see if that costs